As a concerned citizen of this great nation, I stand before you today to express our collective deep disappointment in the performance of our government under the current leadership of President Cyril Ramaphosa. For almost 30 years, the ANC government has been in power, but it has failed to meet the expectations of the people of South Africa. This has led to widespread disillusionment and disheartenment, as we as citizens feel let down by a government that has not lived up to its promises. Despite promises to fight corruption and serve the people, it is clear that the ANC government has failed on both fronts. Corruption runs rampant, and it seems that those in power are more interested in lining their own pockets than serving the needs of the people. The lack of progress on key issues such as poverty, healthcare, and education is unacceptable. The state of our economy is dire, and unemployment rates continue to rise. Our education system is failing our children, and healthcare services are inaccessible to many of the most vulnerable members of society. The constant power outages have become a daily nightmare for many South Africans. The sound of generators hums through the streets as people try to keep their businesses and homes running. The fear of spoiled food, lost work hours, and the inability to perform daily tasks without electricity weighs heavily on our minds. The dark, eerie streets at night are a haunting reminder of the failure of Eskom to generate sufficient power. The devastating effects of power outages go beyond just our daily lives, it is also crippling businesses across South Africa. The inability to operate machinery, keep stock refrigerated, and use electronic devices has led to significant financial losses for many companies. Small businesses, in particular, are struggling to keep their doors open as they cannot afford the cost of generators and alternative sources of power. The impact of the electricity crisis on businesses cannot be understated, and urgent action is needed to prevent further economic damage. It is clear that the current government has failed to meet the needs of the people, and therefore, it is time for a change in leadership. We need a government that is committed to serving the people, and this can only be achieved by electing a new government that will root out corruption, punish those who have abused their power, and hold those in positions of authority accountable for their actions. It is time to give the people of South Africa the government they deserve. We need a government that is transparent and accountable, that listens to the concerns of the people, and that is willing to work towards creating a brighter future for all South Africans. This cannot be achieved by half-hearted promises and empty rhetoric. It requires bold leadership, decisive action, and a genuine commitment to serving the people. The culture of impunity within the government has left many South Africans feeling disillusioned and frustrated, with no hope for real change. We need a government that is passionate, driven, and committed to creating positive change in our society. And we need a leader who is willing to make difficult choices, to take bold action, and to hold those around him or her accountable for their actions. It is time for action. The time for words is over. We need a government that is willing to fight for the people, to create a better future for all South Africans. We cannot afford to wait any longer. As citizens of South Africa, we have the power to shape our country's future. It is time for us to take decisive action and hold our leaders accountable for their failures. We cannot continue to tolerate a government that has consistently failed to deliver on its promises and has become synonymous with corruption and inefficiency. We need a government that is more efficient, less corrupt, and more accountable to its citizens. We need leaders who will prioritize the needs of the people, who will work tirelessly to address the challenges facing our country, and who will put the interests of the nation ahead of their own.
The first step towards achieving this is by ousting the current ANC government and electing a new government that is committed to serving the people. We need to make our voices heard by exercising our right to vote and ensuring that we elect leaders who have a proven track record of honesty, integrity, and commitment to public service. It is time for us to come together as a nation and demand the change we deserve. We must stand united in our quest for a better future, and we must hold our leaders accountable for their actions. We cannot afford to wait for change to happen, we must be the change we want to see. While the Robin Hood theory of taking from the rich to give to the poor may seem noble, it has serious drawbacks and shortcomings. It has led to a culture of entitlement and dependency, where individuals and communities have become reliant on handouts instead of working towards self-sufficiency. Furthermore, it can disincentivize hard work and entrepreneurship, as those who achieve success may fear having their wealth taken away. Ultimately, the Robin Hood theory fails to address the root causes of poverty and inequality, which require a more holistic and sustainable approach. Instead, we need policies that promote social mobility, invest in education and skills development, and create opportunities for all South Africans to succeed. Giving handouts in the form of t-shirts and free meals in exchange for votes may gain votes, but it is not a sustainable way to build a successful country. It perpetuates a culture of dependency and undermines the principles of democracy by incentivizing citizens to vote based on short-term gain rather than the long-term interests of the country.
Instead, we need to focus on empowering citizens through education, skills development, and job creation, so they can contribute to building a strong and prosperous nation. Only by investing in sustainable solutions can we hope to create a future where all South Africans can thrive and reach their full potential. In conclusion, as we approach the next elections, we must remember that our choice of government is a choice for our future. We need leaders who will inspire us, who we can trust and believe in. It's time to demand accountability, transparency, and good governance from our leaders. We cannot sit back and watch as our country continues to decline under poor leadership. We must take decisive action today, and work towards creating a South Africa that we can all be proud of. A South Africa that is a shining example to the world, a land of opportunity, where everyone can thrive and achieve their full potential. The time for change is now, and it is up to us, the citizens of this great nation, to make it happen. Thank you for listening.